Hi, my name is Jerome. I'm a biomedical engineer, and I want to tell you about a little-known condition called decisive dissonance, or why really smart people can do really dumb things. We may have accidentally discovered that life's biggest decisions are made in seconds, while we can agonize over trivial things for hours. And the real reason is the way our brains evolved. Our brains evolved from reptiles. And through the years, the reptile brain evolved into the green mammal brain and then to this wonderful human cerebral cortex that we have. It was a tremendous project, but we have all the parts still working and doing their jobs in our current brain. Reptiles, as you know, are basically smelling machines that work on reflexes that go and try to find mates through the sense of smell or food, and they're really effective at it. We still have that because it helps us to survive. Later on, we developed the mammal brain. It gave us tremendous evolutionary advantages. For example, group hunting, pack affiliation, group dominance, and tribalism. It also provided emotions, which were a nonverbal way to communicate with each other before we had language. Another thing the mammal brain does is it takes sense input and it converts it into tremendous hormones that motivate you. They motivate you to find a mate, to be fearful, to be aggressive, and to do all the things that you need to do. So this tremendous system does that. Eventually, we developed the cerebral cortex, which allows us to do advanced planning. It gave us the tools of planning, strategy, and technology, tremendous things to allow us to build civilizations. Think of the brain as the enterprise. Kirk provides all the motivation and the hormones. Scotty is the reptile brain, making sure the ship goes where it has to go. And Spock is up there in the cortex, taking hours and hours to think of a new way to defeat the Klingons. So here's the big question. Do people do what is good for them, or do they do what makes them feel good? And I'll give you a hint. Think about Kirk and Spock. Kirk always asks Spock, but he really rarely listens, right? So for routine decisions, it's pretty easy. It's not that complicated. It feels okay. There's not a lot of involvement, not a lot of hormones. Your cortex can do the reality check, and if it gives you a thumbs up, it starts to plan a way to get what you need, and that's great. Big decisions are different. Your brain is bathed in all these hormones. It's almost being in love. Your cortex is knocked out. It can't process, and these are complicated decisions anyway. So what happens is the mammal brain decides for you. If you suffer from decisive dissonance, don't worry about it. Einstein, the greatest logical thinker of our century, had decisive dissonance. Despite tons of data, he denied the existence of quantum physics for over 20 years because he didn't feel it was the right thing. Also, logicalness is its own decisive dissonance. Remember, having a logical mind doesn't motivate society to go where no man has gone before.